Dip in your hip and glide in your stride. Welcome to the Mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello.
What's going on?
All kinds of stuff. What's going on with you?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Well, that can be good and that can be not so good.
Everything. In a good way.
Okay, there's the
in a good way.
there's the thing. Thor, you're climbing my wall again. I love you, but
Hello, little Thor. He's so sweet.
he heard you. Where's chat? There it is.
Hi,
There's
friends.
Hello, Michelle. Hello, Denise. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Welcome to another interesting edition of the Otter's Den with your hosts, Keith and Joni.
Cool and groovy things.
Cool and groovy. We do talk about some cool and groovy things sometimes. Hey, Lisa. Hey, you.
We break it first.
There we go.
We break it first.
I'm good at breaking things.
I break everything. I break everything. I'm good at it.
Hey, Peggy.
Hi, Peg. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Denise. Hi, Miss Michelle.
As always, please feel free to share out. Sharing is caring. And I have a visitor. Hang on.
Oh, we want to see him. Oh, he's getting so big.
He is. Now, I'm being nice. Lickies, no bites. Thank you. Oh, I got lickies. Good boy.
I don't know where Noodles is in her house.
Mwah. Good boy.
Noodles.
He's getting better.
I don't know where Noodles is. Noodles could see him.
Hi. Don't you bite my nose.
She's in her house.
No biting.
Noodles is... Detective Noodles is in her igloo. He's so sweet. Hi, Miss Lois. Oh, so sweet.
He's getting better. He still has his moments, but he's getting better.
I
Hey,
think
Lois,
you just get him riled up. It's your fault.
did you see how I was just petting him and loving on him
Yeah.
and calming him down? Okay. Then all of a sudden it's,
Yeah, but I think you push that.
you say that every time.
I know, but he doesn't do anything. When you're really sweet to him, he's just super sweet. But you riled him up. You get him all riled up.
You witnessed it.
He was fine.
Last show, I was cuddling. He was
I
purring.
think you were like pinching him or something.
No, woman. You just love giving me a hard time, don't you?
Yeah, with
Okay.
little Thor. He's little innocent thing. Little Thor's innocent. Thor doesn't do anything.
You spend a week with him.
Oh, he'd be fine. Oh, I'd have him so spoiled. He'd weigh 500 pounds.
No, he eats. Let me tell you,
he would be like Noodles. Noodles looks like a bowling ball. She's on a diet. She's on a complete diet. I don't even want to say what's happening because it's like, what? What now?
And that's a question we need to kind of be careful asking. You know, what now? What's next?
I'll show you. Wait till you see this.
I try not to ask that question too much to the universe anymore because generally the universe will come through with something else.
You know, you look back from, and I thought about this over the weekend, looking back from 2020 when we started this. 2020. Right? Or was it 2019?
I don't know.
No, 2020. Lockdown. See, you did it on purpose.
I'm just sitting here and I got a cat in the crotch.
Well, it's probably, that's all right.
Says you.
And I thought about that. I thought, since 2020, it's like, oh, it's going to be calm. It's going to be a calm week. And then, but we knew 2 weeks ago, because we talked about this.
Yes, we did.
We looked at charts, remember?
Mm-hmm.
We looked at DJT's chart, and we looked at JB's charts.
Yes.
We knew this, you hold your breath. On these transits, you hold your freaking breath. So by Thursday, it'll be breathe a little bit easier.
By Thursday?
Thursday. It should be, well, it's exact today. It was, but again, it'll start to separate.
Mm-hmm.
Uranus and Algol will be together through October, but we don't have the trigger. Guess who the trigger is? Mars, your planet. So Mars is the trigger.
He can be a pretty big trigger.
Mars is the biggest trigger. But you don't want what happened. But what's interesting is I had to look at it because, number one, we looked at his midheaven. Remember what the public sees.
Yeah.
So we knew it was going to be, if something was going to occur, it would be
in public.
And then you look at Taurus because all the planets are in Taurus. What do they rule? The ears. What is Algol when we do crime charts? Algol is head. Off with your head. So I thought there's got to be a good, because the universe is balanced. You cannot have the demon star be all demon.
No.
There's got to be some good in Algol somewhere. So I went on a deep dive and I found it. And Algol's lesson is now remember, Princess Diana has strong Algol. Rihanna has strong Algol. Tesla had strong Algol placements. Through disasters, Algal will protect. Like
But
no other. If you want protection if you want to use the energies of any stars or anything out in the universe and use that energy, it's algal. Algal protects you, but you better be walking on the right path or off with your head. That's how fixed stars work.
And before he steps in, I mean, it has got to be the absolute worst case scenario.
Well, worst case scenario, we wouldn't be talking about a miss. It would have been a direct hit.
Right. But if he
that's just what I think.
If he wouldn't have turned his head that in that millisecond,
right,
he wouldn't be here. That is divine intervention. That is the only thing. That's what everybody is saying.
Well, I don't know how you could say anything differently.
Everybody believes that was divine intervention, whether it be algal, whatever.
I'm going to say it was algal intervention, but algal's got to report. That energy's got to report to somebody or something or universe.
Yeah.
But when we talk about fixed star energy, we've got Aldebaran, we've got Regulus. Okay, Regulus sits on his ascendant at 29 degrees, where it's the strongest. That's the star of kings.
Yes.
Regulus is at 29 degrees.
End of the cycle.
Pluto is sitting at 1 degree. 1 degree Aquarius, 29 degrees. Neptune is at 29 degrees. So we're sitting there with all this energy. And I thought, okay, so we know there was protection.
All those planets right at the end of that cycle, 29 degrees. 11,
well, I did a deep dive because I thought, and I even put it in Saturday's thing for the astrology reading. Look, we've got good support. Well, yes, this is not a good transit. Yes, watch your surroundings because things can go quick. And did you notice how things go bad very quickly?
Yes.
That's Uranus Mars, and we watched it right in front of us. That's how
second.
Millisecond. And and that's what happened on October the 7th when those kids were at that concert.
Mm-hmm.
They were dancing at a concert. The next thing you know, people are coming out of the sky, and lo and behold, we had the October 7th thing over across the pond.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how quick these two energies are. And Uranus is explosive. It's explosive. And
funny you should say that.
Uh-oh. Oh, God.
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I started not feeling the greatest Friday night. The other day, my ears went off. I felt my crown chakra buzzing. I knew, getting a download. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a couple more. Like, oh boy, here we go. Saturday, woke up at 5:34 a.m. and I had to jet to the bathroom. And I sat there with the trash can between my legs, sweating, dizzy, almost passing out for an hour. Uranus purged. Let me tell you what.
Did you have a fever or did you just get over it?
It's my physical body catching up with my spiritual body.
Something happened.
Or usually it's not that intense. Usually it's just aches and pains. They go away in a couple of days. But I mean, my crown chakra, my hair hurt, around my crown. My third eye was the pressure. You
know why? You know why?
I'd like to.
Oops. This combination, I should have told you. It's in your it's transiting the second house, which is opposing your stellium in the 8th house. You've got that stellium in the 8th house.
Yeah.
That whole algal Uranus Mars combination was opposing all your planets. Whoops.
So shit was hitting the fan.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Oh,
looking at Trump's chart and I'm thinking,
yeah.
that hit your 8th house.
Interesting. But yeah, I tell you what, I'm still feeling it. So if I excuse
love
myself
ya.
all of a sudden, I apologize. But I'm still kind of feeling some of the effects.
See what happens when you have a stellium? And it'll hit, man.
This has happened before. It happened a couple of years ago. And things got really good after that. Things really started improving for me. So I'm hoping, getting rid of all that negativity will help in that aspect. That's what it is.
It's in your 2nd house. It hit all your planets. You've got how many planets in the 8th house? About 4 or 5?
Something like that.
Oh,
But what
yeah.
it is your body shedding built up negativity.
Dude, you got whacked.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's rough, but it's a good thing. And that makes room for better things to come in.
Yeah, you did.
Generally, I prefer it to be on a slower basis, but hey, why not get it all done at once?
God, I should have told you that.
Yes. Purge and release. Yes.
Yeah, I should have told you that. Well, by Thursday you'll be feeling better.
Oh yeah, I'm already feeling better.
Because it's gonna start to separate a little.
Yeah. But I mean,
damn.
It just
So you knew, that happens a lot with people where they'll physically, and then look what happened on Saturday.
Yeah, and part of it, maybe I was feeling that. I don't know, but
crazy.
It is your physical body literally catching up with your light body, your spiritual body. You get your download, that vibration upgrades, your physical body has to adjust as well. Sometimes it's very rough on the human body.
That happened to me with that. Remember the last eclipse we had, which was at Aries?
Yeah.
And it hit my my stellium is in the 7th house. So that was opposing my whole 7th house.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't walk. My knee hurt so bad.
I remember that.
Remember that? And then after the eclipse, my knee was fine.
Yep.
So it really will, with stelliums, and I only see that with stelliums. So it's weird. If you've got a stellium, watch those.
Yes.
It's nasty.
Hey, Amy.
I'll have to look it up, and I bet you, if you were in anywhere between 2019 to 25 degrees of any of those degrees, that would have hit you.
Yeah.
I bet it did.
Oh, it did. It did.
Yep. I'm telling you, this energy right now is so strong because of every stelliums are when you have some people say 3, some people say 4. I say 3 or more planets in one house, and they're all clumped together. So anytime you have 3 or 4, some people have 5 planets in one house. So he's got a stellium of Scorpio in the 8th house, and I know he's in Aries rising. So this Uranus Mars algol is in Taurus, so that was opposing that stellium up in the 8th house. Whack.
I got whacked all right.
You got planet whacked.
Yes, I did.
You got algol whacked.
I mean, I need to be thankful because, I mean, that kind of stuff happens to us to help us. It's not to hurt us.
Wow. So, but you don't feel like you've got like a virus or anything?
Oh, no, not at all. No fever, no nothing.
So you don't have any symptoms of being sick?
No, I'm not sick. Neptune, Sun, Mercury, and Venus in the 8th house.
Yep.
28 degrees, 19 degrees, 18 degrees.
See?
Yeah.
It hit all those degrees.
Yeah.
So you're at it's
opposite Taurus, and Saturn is in Taurus.
Yeah. And they're at 26 degrees now. So over the weekend, they were at like 24. So you got whacked.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Renee
Big
said,
time.
ascension flu. That's what we call it. I mean, it is a thing. A lot of the big names, out there, I don't want to say in the paranormal, but in different fields like tarot and, they do readings, whatnot. They understand the downloads and your physical body having to catch up to your spiritual. And that is what they call it, ascension flu, because it feels just like you have the flu, but you don't. You are not sick.
They've got stelliums.
If I would have went to the doctor, they just said nothing's wrong with you. I would have passed the flu test. Nothing.
They're getting whacked with the transit is what it is.
Mr. Odell, how you doing?
That's crazy. And you were at the exact around that whole. It's just a whole bunch of energy coming at you. And look at what was coming at you.
Yeah.
Uranus and Mars.
Yep.
Lord have mercy. Yep. You got it. And that 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. So Mars is the ruler of Scorpio.
Yeah.
Dang.
And that's what I is. I is a Scorpio.
And you got Pluto, your other ruler, sitting there just as strong as it's ever been. Hey, welcome to the world of crapping.
They said, you know what? You're going to sit down for a couple of days and let these downloads sink in. Oh. You're not going to eat. You're not going to drink. You're just going to sit there and absorb the sunshine. Okay.
It's Uranus. Blame me, Uranus.
Well, I got a fenced-in backyard. I could have went out and tan naked on my belly.
No. Don't do that. Please don't do that. That's crazy. See, it's crazy. I'll remember to look at. See, I should have known that. That's crazy. But it just happened to me back in April, so I'm not going to say it's crazy because it just happened to me. I couldn't walk.
Yeah, it's a thing. Now, Renee, that's my friend Renee. Now, Crazy Keith, he doesn't normally come out unless his friend Christy is here, and she's not here right now, so I should probably put him away.
Well, you got another couple days. It should ease up.
Yes,
should be easing up. So.
Oh, look at Denise. She's got Sun, Venus, Pluto, and Uranus in her 4th.
What's your rising? What's your rising planet, Denise? I have to figure it out. Let's see where it's hitting you. I just ate too. I just ate too. But I did go back and I looked at I'm very relieved because not only did DJT get whacked, but JB is getting it as well. I'm very relieved that he canceled his traveling this week because I would have been flipping. You don't flip out, but it never leaves your mind.
Right. I mean,
because you know what the difference between these two is the lesser of who's getting whacked the hardest.
Yeah. DJT needs to hire an astrologist, and I vote for you.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think he's got one. Because one of his LLCs is named Jupiter.
Really?
Yeah. What's Jupiter? Planet of blessings and abundance.
Not wrong.
So it wouldn't surprise me. But if he did have an astrologer, maybe, Diana had one and her astrologer said, don't go on that trip. Do not go on that trip to France.
And she went.
She went. So I can't imagine a Leo rising, Gemini sun, and a Sag moon with Regulus on the ascendant. But he would say, no, I'm going to do this.
Mhm.
But after this life-changing event, we talked about it today, you're going to see a different person
I think so.
because of what occurred.
That can settle you down real quick.
You got the protection of Algol. You're in good hands now.
That was very traumatic for him and everybody around him.
Well, you think?
And traumatic events have a way of sitting you down and
Humbling
making you look at yourself and your ways and your past, and you start learning about things and you start changing. It's also a point where a lot of people's gifts are activated. So we may indeed very well see a very different DJT in the short future.
Well, you got the Gemini sun,
Awesome.
the Leo rising, Sag moon. That's why he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop talking. It's impossible.
No.
So you just laugh and live with it. I'm going to have to check on JD, because if it's Scorpio, there might be, I think it's Aldebaran might be in his mix, but I'm going to look at it. But it's just amazing what saved him. He had a lot going on, like his when we look at things, like if you want to look at a natal chart, you want to look at things that can occur that can go south pretty quickly. You look at the lunar nodes, you look at the malefics, what we call malefics. I don't like that word, but it's like Saturn, Pluto, and Mars. What were they all doing? But then we want to look at who supported him Saturday night. We look to Jupiter and Venus. Those are your aces in the hole. Well, he had his Saturn was trining his Saturn, which is his body. That's a trine.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I mean, his sun was conjunct Venus, right? So he had help. His transiting Venus was in good aspect to his Neptune, which would have made him think very clearly. So the intuitiveness of, you might not know that you're being intuitive, but to change, and all of the things that led up to that evening where they said that he had a jumbotron that he had never used before, so he looked over at it.
Mm-hmm.
All of the little things that are supposed to be coincidences are not.
Yeah. Last minute, he looked over to see what the immigration numbers were, and that's right when it hit. I mean, it would have hit here and came out the back, but instead it just got his ear. So, I mean, if it would have hit, I mean, it would have been like when Kennedy got, what?
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been pretty.
Guess what else is weird? We talk about the North Node all the time of destiny. The transiting North Node was trining his Pluto.
Really?
It wasn't. So what's Pluto? The god of the underworld. That's the underworld. It could be DEATH.
Yeah.
So it's like, nope, not your time with the North Node. South Node, he had the moon in Libra was sitting on his South Node in Libra with the transiting. So, I mean, the moon was in Libra Saturday night. That was a good thing.
So, I mean, he was divinely protected.
Out of all malefics, we had 2 malefics. Okay. But that whole little gang of Uranus, Mars, and Algol were squaring his Mars. They were squaring Regulus. So we had the fight of the 2 fixed stars going on.
Interesting.
I've never. And then that's when I start flipping out. Then I can't go to bed because I'm like, oh, damn, look at this. Look at this. The transit moon in Libra was conjunct the transit south node in Libra. So it's like, nope. No. You cannot make this up.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say that.
You cannot make this stuff up.
No.
So you say divine intervention. He had two nasty things in his natal chart.
Yeah,
he had
so
6 or 7 supporters.
So it very well could have been a lot worse, but it turned out the way it needed to be.
Yeah.
You know, in a different timeline, and there have been a lot of timeline shifts lately. The timeline is attempting to correct itself from being, quote, hijacked a number of years ago. It has made several changes in order to get back to where it is supposed to be, and America gets back to where it is supposed to be, so the world can get back to where it's supposed to be, so the universe can get back to where it's supposed to be, as opposed to where it is now.
Okay, I got it figured out when it's going to happen. And I did it by accident because I figured this stuff out by jumping into astrology rabbit holes. And then you know this stuff, Keith, and I have no idea about a timeline or what you're talking about. But I found what you're talking about and when it's going to happen.
Okay.
So, because I think I know. Because I've been, now, this is what's weird. Okay, I'm going to make it, you think it can't get any weirder? I'm going to make it weirder. So how often have you seen back-to-back full moons in the same sign?
You don't.
We don't. We don't. So last in June, our full moon was in Capricorn. Of course, Capricorn, right? Mm-hmm. This is the theme of the Pluto return in the United States, Capricorn.
Yes.
So what do you think degree this full moon coming up, which again is in it's going to be in Capricorn, this
again,
full moon. Pluto is Pluto, which we're in our Pluto return in the United States, which happens every 240 years, where she returns back to her roots, which is what America's doing. This is it's 2008. Okay. So sitting at 1 degree of Aquarius in retrograde, getting ready to hit that 29 in Capricorn.
29
in Capricorn. So guess what the moon is in? I can't make this up. 29 degrees of Capricorn. So in this full moon coming up, we've got Pluto and the moon conjunct together. This full moon. Guess what they're opposing? The sun in Cancer.
That could be very degrees. That could be very interesting energy.
See?
That is going to do one of two things. That is going to plant us on our butts in some way, or we are going to get up off our butts and good things are going to come into play. So your mindset, your energy plays a lot into how that is going to happen. What you've been doing, what you've been thinking, what you've been saying about yourself and about others. And it all makes a difference.
So you're talking about this timeline thing?
Yeah.
So you know, we look at what are called Sabian symbols. So all the planets go at degrees, and the degrees are constantly changing because planets are moving.
Yes.
Always. 29 degrees of Capricorn, that Sabian symbol, is a woman reading tea leaves. I'm not making it up. It's about intuition, moving into the spirituality, moving into the spiritual realm.
Hey, Ryan.
Okay. So what else is happening on this full moon? I can't make this up.
There's more.
Yeah, there's more. I can't
wait.
I told you.
There's more.
Dude, I jump into these rabbit holes and I don't know anything about resetting timelines and you're talking about, I don't know anything about it, but it makes sense now because we never see back-to-back Capricorn. At 29 degrees, we got Pluto sitting there at its strongest power, waiting to head back into Capricorn to take down what is 29 degrees of what is Capricorn in mundane astrology? It's the government. It's so since 2008, the old has been collapsing. Okay, this is the last hit of Capricorn, and then in about the end of October, it heads back to go back to Aquarius, where it will be. And it will not return to Capricorn for 240 years.
That is interesting.
So this is Pluto's last kick-in. Right now, we're here.
Yeah.
And so.
And look at how things have, in my opinion, went downhill since 2008. Bush was president in 2008.
No, he wasn't. It was Obama, wasn't it?
No.
Oh.
I just Googled it.
Oh, okay.
Obama was in next, I believe.
Okay.
But, what do we have under Bush? We had 9/11. All of these new laws, regulations, restrictions placed upon the American people.
2008, the banks collapsed.
That also. And then our next leader comes into play. And racism is once again brought up and thrown in our faces. So once it's thrown in your face, it becomes a big deal because everybody's having to look at it and see it and listen to it all the time. Me personally, I don't care what color you are, where you're from. There's good people, there's bad people. Which one are you? You want to come into our country? Fine. Come in legally, get a job, help me pay taxes. We're good. I'll get you an application. I don't care. And then naturally, JB.
Well, here's the thing.
It's just been a downhill slide.
Well, this is what you have to look at. When this Pluto in Capricorn is the old structures, the government. What is Aquarius? Aquarius is power back to the people. It's rebellion. Yes. It's freedom. It's everybody is equal.
Hey.
So it's crazy times ahead.
Yes.
So you're talking about the whole. Oh, that's all in and of itself in the third house in the USA chart. That's getting whacked right now too.
Yes.
So this is what we're headed into. But this is what's pretty amazing about this. Pluto in this full moon coming up, I want everybody, this is what we have to release. You release all of the old structures, everything old, to let in this new, people are calling it whatever you want to call it, new earth, new energy. This is the time to do it. It's on July 21st.
It's okay. We live in a 3-dimensional world. We get up, we go to work, we come home, we eat, we watch TV, we go to bed. Yard work, gardening, dealing with people, 3-dimensional. We are dealing with everybody else's vibration around us, all their negativity, everything else. Once you start cleansing your negative energies out, once you start getting your downloads and processing things and changing the way you think and your habits, you start to move into like a 4th dimensional, which is a higher vibrational level. And next up from that naturally is a 5th dimensional level, which that is what people have been saying. Earth is changing from a 3-dimensional Earth to a 5th-dimensional Earth. That doesn't mean we're having two Earths. It means we are existing together in the same plane. And we are at the end of a 25,690 year cycle.
I can't handle that.
And
I need more wrinkle cream.
what's happening is, they talk about ascension. The people who are ascending themselves by raising the vibration, they will, when they pass in this lifetime, they will ascend. The rest, who are just stuck in this 3D mundane life and they're okay with it and happy
Let them
with
go.
it, they get to stay and reincarnate for another 25,000 year cycle while we get to move on.
Well, I haven't gotten to the spiritual ascension part of this July 21st full moon yet. Do you want to hear about that?
Yes.
So this is your timeline where you're talking about some timelines are coming together and they're disappearing and all that crap. Dude, it's July 21st and I didn't even know it. I don't know anything about the timeline thing because it's just too much for me I can't figure it out. I can't even figure out a stop sign or one of those, what are they called? That roundabout things, let alone freaking timeline. I get stuck in those damn roundabouts. I go around them like 3 times. Oh shit, I got to get off here.
Yep.
I hate them.
As much as you want, Renee.
This is what happens, you guys, with this.
Just be in the bathroom when you do.
This is so important. I didn't even know this timeline thing. Now, in this full moon, guess what we got coming into play now? Guess whose star of also coming in? You're going to die when you hear this. Neptune. Neptune is sitting at 29 degrees. What is Neptune? It's your spirituality. It is your clairvoyance. It is your intuition. It is the higher ascension. I cannot make this up.
Let things flow. Don't fight shit. Let things flow.
Guess who's acting together in good harmony? Pluto and Neptune.
Nice.
What? Guess who else is happy with Neptune? Uranus. Guess who else is happy with Neptune? The sun. The sun is turning Neptune. So, this full moon is the most important full moon of the year.
Yes. I 100% agree with you on that.
This is your timeline. I just gave you the date, and I found it by accident. July 21st.
July 21st.
Mm-hmm. That's when it starts. It'll probably go as long until about the end of October when Pluto does the about face and comes back into Aquarius and says, I've done what I can. I'm done. Now, what can happen in between those times? I don't know, dude. But this is really cool because this is your ascension.
Yes.
And we're going to have something really is going to be shown to us around the 21st because this is Pluto and you got the sun in there shining a light on all this crap with Neptune where the veil is thin and people are not going to be so clouded. See, we've been so clouded with Neptune.
Neptune blurs the lines.
Right.
Okay, here's this piece of evidence, but this. Where normally you can look at both and say, okay, it's this. Well, kind of blurs the lines. You're not sure what's going on. You're talking to a friend and having a conversation. You're not sure what they're meaning by that conversation. You're confused by it. So you ask them what they meant and they get ticked off at you because they think you weren't listening. I mean, there's all kinds of examples I could give you. We want to freak you out, Robert.
I'm excited. I found something and didn't even know it.
Yeah. What I find interesting is I believe July 21st is my mom's birthday.
Isn't that cool?
She was a Cancer.
It's crazy. I cannot make up these degrees.
No, you can't. I mean, This is unheard of. This
No.
is unheard of. I mean, we are living in one of the most unparalleled times to be living at.
I think it's pretty cool.
It may not seem like it, but we are making a difference in what is happening out there.
Well, yeah. Duh.
And this year, things are going to get back on track, and it's going to take a little bit. There's going to be some changes, but things are going to get better.
I got one more thing you're not going to believe. I find out this shit by accident, and then I sit there and I see it by myself, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I'm talking to myself. So when I, of course, heard about, I was relieved today that JB canceled trips because he's getting whacked in his 6th house of health with this Mars algo Uranus. It's hitting his ascendant, which I do not like that at all. Ascendant is your physical body, and it's now. I don't like that at all.
No.
So we just put out good vibes for our leaders. I don't care what leaders, just in our country, because
absolutely,
I don't like both of them are getting whacked. But so they pick the VP mix, the VP person.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do? What do I do immediately when I hear something like this? Dude, I get on astro.com and I start looking at their birth chart.
You jump in the rabbit hole.
I feel like I creep people, but I think it's for the good of mankind that they're going to be public figures, then by God, their natal chart's public.
That's right.
That's how I look at it. I don't creep on people, but if you're going to go public, I'm going to creep you.
Yes.
So, are you ready for this?
Yes.
So this new guy in our picture, this new young man, he's 39 years old, this JD guy, who actually they picked, he's across the river from me. His motorcade came across the river today because the airport in Cincinnati is actually in Kentucky.
Okay.
Guess what? In his chart. Guess where Pluto sits?
29 degrees?
Yeah. I'm not making it up. I'll circle it and show it to you.
You can't make it up.
No. Now, we got an
11,
issue, though.
11.
We got an issue with his chart. Okay, he's a Leo. That's great. We want a leader to be a Leo.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I didn't have a birth time, so if the birth time comes up, this could change.
Yeah.
Moon, Libra.
Okay.
Rising.
Okay.
Libra. We don't want the Libras near any buttons.
No. No offense, Joni, but no, we don't.
We don't want them in the lab, and we don't want them near buttons.
Ooh, what's this button do?
Should I or shouldn't I?
That's from
I don't know. Are they going to be mad at me or not? Can't make it. Will somebody bling that button? What's a male? So now what's interesting about his chart too is the United States chart is mainly a Cancer chart. Majority of a lot of the planets are in Cancer. Sun, everything. So it's really a Cancer chart. It's a Sag rising and an Aquarius moon. So freedom is in our DNA.
Yes.
It's in, with that moon in Aquarius. The moon represent the people, Aquarians. It is in our roots. If you are a United States, it's in your heritage. It's in your DNA. It's in your roots. It's freedom. We couldn't handle not having our freedom.
No.
It's in our lineage. With that being said, his midheaven is Cancer. So he lines right up with the United States chart. And I like that. So I like his chart. He's got a good chart. He's got a good chart. He's a Leo sun. I like it. But when I saw that 29 at Pluto, which is the end. So this is the new coming in.
Yes.
This is the new wave. 39 years old. He's a baby. That's okay, though. We need him. We need young people.
And who is this again for?
Do what?
Who is this again for?
The VP pick.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, 29 degrees Pluto. I thought that was very interesting.
So, combine that with Trump's, and it's very promising.
Oh, the two charts?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's a Leo rising. They would get along wonderfully.
Oh, yeah.
Leo sun. They would get along great. And a Libra moon and rising. This guy's going to be very peace. It's going to be, there will be 0 wars under his watch.
That's
not in the Libras. Not in the Libras. No, they would not tolerate a war.
That's a good thing.
No.
And
that's a big no.
DJT doesn't want any wars either.
No. Now I'm trying to think. Now, I will tell you this. The other VP on the other team, her chart is, and we looked at that 2 weeks ago, is exceptionally strong right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, very, very exceptionally strong. I like her chart. I'll be honest with you. I like her chart. I don't know what the deal is, but I like the chart.
Well, if they can,
at least there's more honesty than a lot of other charts I've seen.
Yeah. Well, I
and
mean,
she's got one.
If they can force him to step down.
Well, it's going to be. I don't like this opposition. I'll be happier after Thursday, because I don't like any oppositions when it hits your ascendant. Your ascendant is your physical body. And gosh, that's hitting over in his 12th, hitting his sun, hitting the ascendant, his Venus, and the 12th house is hospitals.
Well,
I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
I mean,
he's got some help. He's got Sun trining Mercury. Have you noticed the Sun trining Mercury? Mercury is your communication and how you communicate. Have you noticed remember when I said, when we looked at that debate and I said, oh my God, he's got Saturn sitting on his midheaven. Why would anybody allow him to debate? He won't, it'll be just a nightmare. Now that the Sun is trining Mercury, he will be able to communicate much better. Okay, it'll be temporary. It won't be long because it's a pretty fast transit. But
they needed to let him debate so that the American public could see exactly where he is. That way, they had a reason to call for his stepping down, and that is already in process. Many of the very biggest donors are already stopping the funds from going through. They're trying to force him to step down. And his wife, Jill, is making him stay in the race.
Listen, we saw that.
And we
saw that 3 years ago when Saturn was in his house of communications. And I said, uh-oh, we got some issues. Some health issues.
Yeah, we called it.
Yeah, that was in the 3rd house. Now it's in his 4th house.
Yeah, there's been a Parkinson doctor at the White House 8 times. The media will not admit it. It's in the visitor's log. Very
tragic. Very, very tragic. But I'll feel better after Thursday on all that. So I think to see this from 2 weeks ago, everything transpired the way that we thought it would. And then now 2 weeks, which is, we're going to find this upcoming full moon is going to be even more interesting in 2 weeks after the full moon.
Yes.
So we're going to see it all play out with you're going to have to tell me what these timeline things are.
Okay.
If it's too much, I really don't want to hear about it till like in the morning. It's too late.
No, it's actually pretty simple. Okay.
What were you talking about that one time where people were saying, what was that? What were we talking about last week with the the fruit of the loom? What was that called?
Oh, the Mandela effect.
Yeah, I learned about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Okay.
But this is a timeline. Okay.
Okay.
Starts here, say some year, ends here in a different year. Somebody does something nefarious, say right here.
Yeah.
See that little mark is?
Yeah.
Say they change an election. Okay.
What?
That takes that timeline to a new one. Because since that changed, this timeline can no longer.
Oh, so you mean people that are messing with fated things that are supposed to happen?
Yes.
Okay.
That is what I mean.
Okay.
So what's happening by the timeline shifts is the universe corrects something.
Okay.
Which takes that timeline back up to here.
To where it was supposed to be.
And then there's another correction and another until it gets back to that original timeline.
Well, how do you know where the timeline's supposed to be? Nobody would know that.
I feel the shifts. Howie feels the shifts. We talk about it every time they happen.
A timeline shift?
Yeah. Yeah, there's physical evidence of them.
So it's things that mess with things that are predetermined.
Yeah. Yeah, people
maybe sort of.
People are screwing with fate. They are asking deities that they have no business messing with.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes that allows things out of places they should not have been allowed out of. And then I have to help to replace those entities where they belong.
So then we see when Algol and Regulus step in.
The universe will correct itself.
Okay.
It will. It takes a while sometimes, but it will correct itself because the universe wants to vibrate higher. It wants to get to ascension. It wants to be here and not here. So it will fight these timeline changes. And the shift, you can notice. I mentioned this before. On the way to I live in Wymore, Nebraska, Marysville, Kansas, about 26 miles south. You can either take 77 down and then straight into Marysville, or you can take the Oquito cutoff and end up on the opposite side of town, so you don't have to mess with going all the way through town.
Okay.
Been up and down that road many, many times. This has happened twice on this very road. Hi, kitty cat.
It's Noodles.
Noodles. And, I'm going down this road one day. This corner, there's never been a house there. It's always just been trees. All of a sudden, there's this dilapidated 120-year-old house ready to fall down. I had to stop. And me and Howie were talking about timeline changes that morning. Some people remember it being there. Some people don't remember it being there. Again, the Mandela effect.
Oh, okay.
Timeline changes. And then a year and a half later, I'm going down the same road. I went down one day to get something. The next day I had to go return it because I got the wrong thing. Okay, the first day there was no pond over here. The second day there was a pond over here. You cannot build a pond overnight. You cannot build an established farm pond overnight with grass growing up to the edges of the bank. It's impossible. So that is what I mean by timeline shifts and changes.
Well, July 21st is going to be a big push for one of your timeline changes for ascension.
Pay attention to your surroundings. You may notice something different.
I
building
will.
looking different.
Release all the old. We have to get rid of the old.
Yes.
Release it. Get rid of it to allow this new in. Because
let it flow. And sometimes it hurts when we release.
Right.
We do our full moon intentions. We release the old. We might not even know what we're releasing. We are just saying, hey, I'm ready to give this up.
Yeah, get rid of it. Anything old.
Might be something from when you were 6 years old, and the universe says, okay, you're ready. Good. Here, I'm going to get rid of that for you.
People are going to get a lot of, around the 20th, 21st, a lot of intuitive downloads, a lot of psychic visions, a lot of dreams. So just be very open to that, and journal it, and don't think you're going crazy, because the psychic influences with that kind of Neptune power are going to be off the cuff.
Yes. But like I was saying, okay, something's been removed. That leaves a hole. That leaves an empty space.
Right.
That leaves a void. So something is missing. You may feel down, depressed, sad, because the universe took something away from you. You don't even know what the hell it is, but this is where you're feeling. Let it flow. It's okay. That allows room for something better to come back in. You have to have room for good things to come in. If you're all full of negativity and stuff, there ain't no room for good stuff. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. And sometimes that involves getting off your tail, going in the bathroom, looking in the mirror, looking both at yourself and into yourself, and being honest with yourself. This is who I've been in the past. I don't like this person anymore. It's time for me to change. And that is one of the most difficult things you will ever have to do.
Well, I think the biggest thing too that will be coming is fear. Don't give in to the fear. Stand in your power. Stand in your collective power, and do not give in to fear or panic.
Right.
Because that you just, this is a lot of energy, and when you give in to fear, then you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think a lot of it is no fear. No fear. Just bring it.
Wow. We don't have anything to be afraid of. Anything that happens to us is happening for us, for our higher good.
Right.
If somebody gets removed from your life, there's a reason. You may not know what it is.
Right.
You don't need to know what it is. Just accept it, heal from it, and go. That person will be replaced with somebody better.
We're going into some really uncharted waters astrologically, that are really crazy, and you just got to roll with everything. I mean, I cannot make up these numbers, and I don't. I mean, you cannot make up where things are sitting at 29, and how powerful this energy really, really is.
It's huge.
And it's releasing all the old Plutonian, old time for Aquarius to move in. Power to people.
There's going to be a lot of secrets coming out. We've been calling this for a long time, but there's going to be even more coming out that the media is not going to want to get out. It's going to get out. So, like I said, do your homework, accept it. The truths are finally coming to light. Even the media are having to say, okay, this is a thing. And they're not happy about it because they've been saying it's not a thing for a long time. We've been called conspiracy theorists. It's only a conspiracy until it's been proven true. And there have been so many conspiracies proven true over the last several years. It's crazy.
Well, I learned that in 2020. I had no idea any of that stuff was going on.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And the moment you make that realization that crap, it's all true. You have to change your way of thinking, and that's difficult. Some people aren't able to do that. It's called cognitive dissonance. No matter how much proof you put right in front of them, that means they would have to admit that their thinking was not correct, and they can't do that. They will not allow themselves to do that. They are unable to.
I had to apologize to a lot of people that I laughed. That's what I called them.
Tinfoil is for aliens. Aluminum
I told
is
my
for
friends
government.
that. I said, I love you, but I don't believe you. That'll never happen here. That will never happen. That will never happen. And then I would find myself texting him going, oops, I'm sorry.
It happened.
And then he would laugh at me. And then it got to the point of me saying, what's going to happen now? So you have to keep an open mind, because I was closed mind. I'm like, you're crazy. That will never happen here. Yes, it will. I go, they will never force anything on us. That will not happen here.
Our freedom was taken away.
I was talking about with lockdown.
We allowed it.
Yeah. I said it will never happen here.
Not all of us allowed it. I did not change my lifestyle one bit.
I didn't either, really, actually. I didn't either.
I already stayed home all the time. I already kept to myself. I did not get any of the not one, never will, refuse. So I am still a pureblood. And now look at all the information coming out about how dangerous they are.
Horrific.
Pulling them off the market and causing damage. The truth's coming out.
Yeah. Cancer 44, ruling planet is the moon 57. It goes up to 30, hun. So you have to look at, like, Cancer, look at the degree. I know, it's crazy. Fasten your seatbelts, because this is wild energy. And I think stay in your power, stay positive. Just keep
arms
going.
and legs in the car at all times.
What the fuck is going on?
And it's going to go quick. It's already July 15th.
Dude.
Yesterday it was January. It's the next few months are going to go quick. There's going to be a lot of information coming out, a lot of information hitting, and it's going to be difficult to keep up with. I can't remember who, but somebody on here said earlier, ditch the hateful media.
I said that. I think I said it. I've been saying that for 4 years.
You know, I listen to people like Dan Bongino. He literally puts all of his evidence on his website.
That's who you listen to.
Okay, here's the page. Here it is. You can go read it. He tells the truth. There's another one. I can see his face. Can't think of his name. I'll think of it later.
You can look things up yourself, you know, and like if there are hearings going on or a trial going on, check into it yourself. Don't pay attention to what people say it is, because that's not what happens legally. Right. I mean, I know that for a fact.
The media can twist something around so bad to keep the end result hidden from you until it absolutely has to be said.
Well, just be careful.
They're trying to keep things from us until after the, thing where we go check boxes.
Right. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Oh, it'll be the day after the full moon.
Can't make it up.
Right? Is that right? 22nd. No, that's next week. It'll be the following week. It'll be a week after the full moon, which will be good. And then we'll go into August, because August has got some real explosive stuff too. Kind of like this Uranus Mars thing that we're in. Hang in there until Thursday.
Yes.
Drive slow. Pay attention to your surroundings. Things can go downhill very quickly. Just be very careful with power tools and driving. Slow down.
I use power tools every day.
Just be very,
You tell me.
just be careful,
Yeah.
just be careful. And
Pay attention, go slow, take your time.
I mean,
yeah,
who would, I hate what happened, but I think we all knew something was going to with this Uranus.
People have been waiting for it.
I wouldn't have dreamed that in a million years, though.
Bongino said months ago, you need to step up this guy's security or it's going to happen. And he wasn't wrong.
No, it just,
and
something stepped in.
Yes.
And I think we're going to see a different person.
We shall find out soon.
I'm going to look up in 2 weeks. I'm going to look up JB's and see if he's got fixed stars activated as well. Because normally very famous people are people that, like King Charles or the leader of countries, all have the royal stars in their charts. And those are tests. All of them are tests. If you don't walk the straight and narrow, you will be put down.
You'll get your ass handed to you.
You will. And I'm gonna show you in a chart where that happened, and I'll tell you exactly who it happened to. And I don't know if people like her or not, like her for what she is, but she could have been not only the president, but very powerful and good at it. But something happened with this fixed star. It's kind of like a fork in the road. With a fixed star in your chart and it's active in a natal chart, you can go one of two ways.
Mm-hmm. You have the choice.
You've got a choice. And you have to rise up to the level of ethics and walking. You better walk the path. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you will be...
You're done.
You're done. And it happened to Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you in her chart where it happened. Because at that last election, she has a fixed star and this particular star says, if you aren't walking in a certain path or walking this particular way, I'm gonna face plant you. They all really pretty much do that.
And the face plants don't feel too good. Let me tell you what.
No. So I'll show you her chart. I'll show you exactly where it happened. Okay. And it's amazing.
I'd like to see that.
And you know what's even so interesting about her chart is her date of birth, her time of birth was never released.
Really? So
around the time of the one election she was in, there are certain astrologers that were her chart's really a wild chart. I'm going to show it to you in 2 weeks. They literally changed her time of birth to give her a softer natal chart, so that when astrologers would release it and people would see it, it was a softer natal chart.
Really?
I wouldn't make that up.
That's crazy.
So
the other one I was thinking of was Ben Swan.
I've never heard of him.
To those who have not went to the R.I.F.T Nation Network page and liked our page, I have put the link in the comments. So that way you go there, you like the page, hit notifications, and you get notified when all our cool and groovy shows come on.
That's right.
Kind of neat, nifty.
That's nifty. So we'll do that in 2 weeks, but be careful this week. Be careful.
Yeah, 2 weeks. The next show is on the 29th.
Perfect.
And again,
duh.
Can't make it up.
Shit. We'll get through August.
Thank you, Denise. I'm glad you could too. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Normally, we try not to get too political, but there's enough happening right now where some things needed to be discussed. And
I think it's interesting.
Yeah. And like I said, they're really taking a look at his security now because some things, that should not have happened.
Keep both of our leaders, all our leaders in your thoughts and prayers, because they are going through some transits right now. that they need all the good vibes they can get.
Both of them.
Both, yeah, for sure.
You know, I don't have any ill will towards anybody. I really don't.
No.
I just want a fair election, and I don't like seeing people getting used. And I'm seeing that right now, and I don't like that. I would rather see people at peace and doing things in a fair way. But,
yeah.
We know how that gets changed very quickly.
I think it's horrible the way one of the leaders is being treated by family and people. I think he deserves to be retired and happy,
Yes.
and I think it's horrific.
Yes, I do too.
I think it's horrible. It's very sad. So,
on that note,
all right, hon, be safe.
You too. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one, everybody. Good night.
Night, Joni. Yes, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. If you pray, pray. If you talk to spirit, talk to spirit. Do good things, even little good things. Thank you. You too. And we will see you here in a couple weeks. And again, thank you for joining us this evening.